The statement every confession is necessarily an admission but not vice versa is a well-established principle of the law of evidence under the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam 2023. To understand this principle, it is necessary to understand the meanings of admission and confession. Meaning of admission. An admission is a statement, oral, written, or electronic, which suggests an inference as to any fact in issue or relevant fact and is made by a person under circumstances recognized by law. Simple meaning: an admission is a statement that accepts or acknowledges a fact which may be against the interest of the person making it. Example: A is sued for recovery of money. A says, "Yes, I borrowed 50,000 rupees from B." This statement is an admission because it acknowledges a relevant fact. Admissions may occur in both civil and criminal cases. Meaning of confession. A confession is a statement made by an accused person, in a criminal case admitting his guilt or substantially admitting all the facts constituting the offense. Simple meaning: a confession is a statement in which a person admits that he committed a crime. Example: A says, "I stabbed B and caused his death." This is a confession because A admits the commission of the offense. Confession applies only to criminal cases and must relate to the guilt of the accused. Why every confession is an admission? Every confession contains an admission because when a person confesses, he admits certain facts. In fact, a confession is a special type of admission that directly relates to the commission of a crime. Example: A states, "I stole the motorcycle." This statement admits a fact. Also admits guilt of theft. Therefore, it is both an admission and a confession. Hence, every confession is necessarily an admission. Why every admission is not a confession? An admission does not always amount to a confession because a person may admit certain facts without admitting guilt. Example: A says, "I was present at the place where the murder occurred." This statement admits a fact, but it does not admit that A committed the murder. Therefore, it is an admission but not a confession. Similarly, a person may admit ownership of a weapon or presence at a location without admitting criminal responsibility. Hence, every admission is not a confession. Distinction between admission and confession. Basis: admission, confession. Meaning: statement suggesting an inference regarding a fact in issue or relevant fact. Statement admitting guilt of an offense. Scope: wider concept. Narrower concept. Cases applicable in civil and criminal cases. Applicable only in criminal cases. Made by any party or person recognized by law. Usually made by the accused person. Nature: may or may not admit liability or guilt. Directly admits guilt or offense. Result: may merely support a fact. Directly implicates the accused. Relationship includes many kinds of statements. A special type of admission. Simple case study. Suppose Ramesh is accused of stealing money from a shop. Situation 1. Ramesh says, "I was present in the shop on that day." This statement only admits his presence in the shop. It does not admit theft. Therefore, it is an admission but not a confession. Situation 2. Ramesh says, "I entered the shop and stole the money." This statement admits the commission of the offense itself. Therefore, it is both an admission and a confession. This example clearly shows that every confession contains an admission, but every admission does not amount to a confession. Important judicial principle. Courts have consistently held that a confession must either admit the offense or substantially all facts constituting the offense. A statement that merely raises suspicion or admits a subsidiary fact is not a confession. For example, saying I was near the crime scene is not a confession. Saying I committed the crime is a confession.